Good morning. Today we come together to mark Holocaust Memorial Day. It is a day set aside to remember, to reflect and to learn. On this day we remember the 6 million Jewish men, women and children who were murdered during the Holocaust simply because of who they were. We also remember the millions of other people who were persecuted and killed, including Roma people, people with disabilities, members of the LGBTQ+ community, political opponents, and many others. Each number represents a real person, with a life, a family, hopes, and dreams. A symbol often used on the Holocaust Memorial Day is the lighting of 6 candles. Like the 6 candles we saw at the start of this video, each candle represents 1 million Jewish lives lost. Together, they remind us of the scale of the tragedy, but also of the importance of memory. When we remember, we make sure that these people are not forgotten and that their stories continue to be told. Holocaust Memorial Day isn't only about the past, it's also about the present and the future. It asks us to think about what happens when hatred, discrimination and prejudice are allowed to grow. It challenges us to consider our own responsibilities, to stand up for others, to speak out against injustice and to treat people with kindness and respect. We will now listen to an interview with Stephen and Hilary from Gathering Voices, where Stephen shares his father's story of being a young Jewish man during the Holocaust. Stephen and Hilary were also kind enough to visit our school and share this story with some of our history classes.
The effects of National Socialism and the depriving of Jews of civil liberties basically started in the mid to late 1920s and obviously went on. ADP, and they were trying to keep Germany democratic. But of course, when Hitler came to power, of course, that chance was lost.
I'm very interested in Hitler Youth, how a state has brought propaganda and bias to the youth. They knew to get the youth on the side of the state, then the parents don't matter, it's the youth. When we go to schools and things, I kind of tell people, don't believe everything that you see on the web. Don't be influenced. Be cynical.
When we entered the barrack, minutes after we got in, a young woman was running towards my sister. She told us right away, I want you to know that your mother and your siblings are already dead. And that was also a shock, but an unbelievable one. I remember rejecting it completely. I just felt terrified the whole time I was there, so scared, because they were looking at us like we were subhumans. They treated us like subhumans. They had all the power and we were nothing. We were just... That was the intent. Yes.
One after the other, my classmates were dying of hunger, exhaustion, and just total mental and physical collapse. I was the last one.
The Holocaust also gave rise to powerful stories of hope. One of those is the story of Nicholas Winton, who saved 669 children from the Holocaust. We're about to watch a short clip of Nicholas meeting the children he saved, many years later, a moment that shows lasting impact, compassion and courage.
Is there anyone in our audience tonight who owes their life to Nicholas Winton? If so, could you stand up, please?
As we bring this assembly to a close, let's think about this year's theme. This year's Holocaust Memorial Day theme is Bridging Generations. This reminds us that the responsibility of remembering does not belong to only those who have lived through these events, but also to us. By listening to survivor stories, to the experiences of their family, and to testimonies shared across generations, we help ensure that these voices are never forgotten. As we leave today, we encourage everyone to reflect on what they have learned and think about how they can show kindness, respect, and courage in their everyday lives. Remembrance is not only about looking back, it's about shaping a better future. Thank you for listening and taking the time to remember.